in the game early, I think we'd have seen him win a lot more games than he has.
Carved out a few opportunities for himself. If he's going to get an opportunity in this leg, he needs to see Wesley Harms miss.
Shot in the second
Wesley Harms is not in the mood for missing. Start he throws in this match.
And that has been Yuri's Achilles heel all week when he has had that chance, particularly to win a game.
Shot.
He's not taken it. But Wesley Harms, no such bother. Takes that with a double 12. A 4-0 victory. He opens up today with heads to joint, top of the table with Cox with a nice 91 average there. We'll be back with you after this short break.
He seems to be carrying that on here today. Very good resilience and reaction to that negativity from such a young man.
Moreno Blom.
That this 90
Moreno, you require 90.
Is for the match. And he's got double 15. Statistically good for the left-hander. And it's statistically easier to say. Was good for him in relation to this match. It's a 4-1 win for Moreno Blom with a 95 average. 95.27, there it is. I'll come in. Really didn't do a great deal wrong there. His 81 average. 4 from 8 on the checkouts for Moreno. So, game 2 is over today here in Group A. On the Wednesday, it's time for a short break, and we'll be back with Lee Cox and Danny Lorby for the week.
He require 147
against Lorby. Oh, if that is going to progress him to the top of the table.
Game shot.
What a way to start the day, Lee Cox. The man who says finishing is his problem. No problem there as he takes out the 147. So those percentage shots to give yourself the biggest opportunity.
Game shot in the fifth leg.
He is royally punished by Danny Lauby.
55.
He's relying on a miss from Danny Lauby. Which hasn't been a very profitable strategy so far today.
And the match.
And Danny Lauby gives Lee Cox his 3rd defeat of the week. Pushes himself up the table with a decent performance there, an average just shy of 85. But the big stat there for Danny Lauby is the 4 from 8 on the doubles. 50% enough to see him go to 12 points. Coming up after the break, got Wesley Harms taking on Moreno Blom. Wesley Harms picking up where he left off in that opening game. Man who's been getting a lot of social media attention.
Game shot in the first leg.
Be making everybody happy on the socials so far. Mention of Moreno Blom, but
82.
may have Lee Cox just watching the screen right now. With his fingers crossed. So tops here would be a benefit for them both. And Wesley Harms loses his throw. It was in his hands. He was miles clear in that leg.
100. Moreno, you require 121.
Yeah, allows him to go that route, and it's double 18, and he's nailed it for another 1-2-1 finish. Again, a big result in the context of the group. And where we see Wesley again not breaking the 80 average against Moreno Blom. Moreno Blom, a lovely 92 average and a 4-2 win. So, we'll be back with you shortly for more action with Danny Lauby and Yuri Brower.
To the 90.
88.
It's a bit of a mess. It's 88 for Lauby. The shot, the same way. Luke Littler won Super Series 3.
74.
And he will leave himself
Yuri
on that double 7,
90.
which Yuri hit when he didn't want to.
Game shot in the third
You just
leg.
knew the bullseye
Yuri
was going to
Brewer.
go. Where here he's going to need Danny Lauby to miss probably 2 handfuls of darts at a double. At best, it could be more.
Danny, you require
He's
48.
going to probably get 9 darts here to see off this 48, which for a player of Lauby's quality is far too many.
Game shot.
Danny Lauby
Danny
has got the job done. It wasn't his best. It wasn't his A game. It's a winning game. It's a 4-1 success there for Dan Lauby, and he keeps himself in the running as well for this group now. Both him and Moreno Blom on 14 points, just a couple of points behind Wesley Harms, and a man who's hoping to go top of the league at the end of the next match is Lee Cox, who's coming up against Mal Cumming. An opportunity to Mal Cumming. This is something that hasn't come Mal Cumming's way. Opportunity, second bites.
Game shot in the second leg.
And it's advisable to the rest of the players not to let him have them, because Mal Cummins has just broken straight back with that 112 finish. Coming 6 darts here for Lee Cox.
It does. The whole feeling comes back when you hit that treble 21st dart in this situation, and you can even feel the memory foam in your shoes.
Is this too late? It's not too little. A 138 is never too little. But it is too late. Lee Cox breaks the throw in 13 darts. A solid performance there for Lee Cox. We said that leg was all about bottle. He's shown he is full of it. And he shows his class there with an average of 92.43. The man who says his checkouts are his weakness certainly are not today. He's only had 8 darts at the double. He's hit 6 of them so far. He's also top of the table, which we'll be seeing in a moment. But coming up after that, got Wesley Harms, Dan Lowby. He's just forced Danny Lowby to hit a 180, which he can't do from now. So huge advantage once again to Wesley Harms.
101.
Surely, I think he won't let the opportunity pass him by a second time.
54.
You'd think not. Lowby, I look to lead the 170 again, but he's missed 42. The 25.
Wesley require 47.
So 6 from here for sure, but Harms will want to do it in 2. Maybe in 3.
Game.
And he does it in 3.
And a match, Wesley Harms.
4-1 win to Wesley Harms. He takes himself back to the top of the table on 18 points alongside Lee Cox. There's his average, 85, 1, 2, 75 for Danny Lowby. But the important stat is the 4 on the side of Wesley Harms and the 1 on the side of Danny Lowby. We take a short break and we'll be back with you with Moreno Blom v Lee Cox.
190.
It's 90 for Blom and double 15. And
Game
he's nailed it.
Third leg, Moreno Blom.
He's nailed it.
Points away.
Moreno, you require
4-0 victory. And our second ton plus average of the week.
Game, shot.
And he wraps it up in 15 darts. A fantastic performance there from Moreno Blom. Unfortunate for Lee Cox, he ran into one there, an average of 100.20, which is a 15 dart leg. Every single leg, essentially, for Moreno Blom. But that does cause problems now in terms of the league table. It's all getting a bit tight at the top. After 13 laps of fixtures, we've got a battle at the bottom of the table. Coming up next, Yuri Brewer, Mal Cumming. From Mal, we're going to see him find a way to switch that what has been good performance into good results.
Game shot on the first leg.
That is the ideal way to kick off the leg. 12 darter. Just makes you want to have those same things. It's the same reason you could be driving your car and you'll hear a song come on the radio.
95.
It'll remind you of when you was 18 at a disco somewhere, and it'll remind you of that night.
Yeah, exactly.
99.
Very much so. The 158 for me is the one that reminds me of Lakeside in 2015. That was a massive shot at a massive time for me, and I keep leaving it ever since. I don't think I've hit it much in the last 8 years, but I hit it on that one night when I needed to get me to that last chance to get a winning leg on board to win it. But
56.
Yeah, there are always shots like that that are lovely in your mind, aren't there?
That might have been the last chance for Yuri Brewer to get anything out of this game. A good performance there from Mal Cumming. It would have been well over the 100 average, but that one little wobble earlier on, he won't mind too much about that. He turns his good performances into a good result, a 4-1 success, average of 93.91, and the second 148 finish of the week. Good stuff there from Mal Cumming. We'll see him a little bit later on, but before then, we've got Danny Lowby taking on Moreno Blom. He's 82. Not a guy right now who's enjoying his darts.
Now you require 148.
Clear to see. We've seen this 148 go a couple of times this week already, and it's gone again. It's a hat-trick of 148s. Mal Cumming has hit that already himself. That's his second 148, and I believe actually
fifth leg it's Yuri to
when he hit the last
first.
148, I had a slip of the tongue and said it could be 5 148s.
99. Moreno require
Said yesterday.
80.
You feel Moreno Blom is a good front runner.
Game shot in the first
He's
leg.
running away with this. He's
Blom.
continuing that trend of 15 darters. A 15 dart there to break the throw. Double 7 on this occasion. Here's the Scott Mitchell. The 158.
140. Danny, you require 40.
Like the lie there, just wanted to leave any double. He's left himself double 9, but will he get a poke?
10.
He will. It's double 9.
Moreno, you require 18.
Moreno Blom to keep this incredible run going. We'll do the 9 in bits.
Game.
And he
shot,
wraps it
and a
up.
match. Moreno
7 to
Blom.
4. Gamble landed there on Moreno Blom as he keeps this incredible run going. A 92.13 average. Look at that in just 5 legs of darts. 7 scores of 140 or more. Power scoring at its finest there for Moreno Blom. And another exhibition of finishing which just keeps getting better for Moreno Blom. 4 from 6, 66%. A fantastic performance that puts him joint top of the table. Coming up next, one of those players in that position, Wesley Harms, takes on Mal Cumming. No, it's too good. He's ruined the 5-ton leg. Could be a 4, though. He'll be happy enough with that.
139.
Indeed, he will. Cumming will be looking to do something similar.
99. Wesley requires 62.
So 62 coming in for Harms for the match. Does he go 20? He usually does. And it's double 16 to close out the match.
Shot.
And go
and the match,
top of the
Wesley
group on
Harms.
20 points. It was a dodgy start there, to say the least. Or was it a good start from Mal Cumming? That result didn't look good at 1-0 down. Wesley Harms comes home 4-2. The 92.31. 4 from 7 on the doubles. An impressive 50% checkout rate. His highest checkout of 90. We head into a break and we'll be back with you with some more action from Week 1, Group A.
Late. And he rescues the situation. He puts the game back into his control. It's almost like a replica of the game of yesterday.
You don't relax.
Require 83.
It really is out of his hands.
He refused a dart at the ball.
51.
He's saying to Lee Cox, I don't think you're going to take this 145, pal. But he might. Good effort there from Lee Cox, but he's going to have to survive match darts now. It's 3 in hand for Yuri Brewer for his second victory of the week.
32. Game.
And what a big victory that is in context of Group A. Yuri Brewer takes his second victory of the week. The averages, well, they're nothing to write home about because of that long leg on the doubles. The all-important part of this is 4-3, and Lee Cox loses. So we will take stock of what we've seen, and we'll come back with you after the break with Mal Cumming versus Danny Lauby. She likes to Snapchat.
$43. Danny, you require 110.
Keep the game alive.
74.
Dart miss there for Danny Lauby. Offers
48.
what should be 2 darts. What a match here for Mal Cumming. Pick up his 6th victory of Group A.
16. Danny, you require 36.
Not to be on that visit. That's Lauby to save himself double 9. Last chance saloon.
27. Mal, you require 32.
And a long way off. That is a dart thrown.
Game, shot.
With a bit of fatigue, a bit of tired, and obviously the lack of adrenaline. As both these players know their fate, they are going to join us later on in the week in Group C. They'll be back tomorrow afternoon. But coming next, we have a game that will decide the positionings in regards to the winners. Group B, it is Wesley Harms and Lee Cox.
Oh, it's just a ton. Blom has to go for double 5. Surely they're two markers.
Game shot on the fourth
absolutely
leg.
beautiful markers. So, 2 darts. If this goes, which it's not going to now.
57. Moreno, you require 40.
Blom hits tops. He's done his part of the equation. He's done all he could do. He takes his tally to 5 out of 5 today. The average is not an issue in this situation. He needed to win that game, and that's exactly what he's done, taking him to 5 out of 5. He will have confidence going into tomorrow, no matter where it is. We will now take a short break and come back with our last game of the day. Wesley Harms v Lee Cox. Indeed, you make the situation more difficult for yourself.
Well, instead of looking forward, you look backwards. You don't think that's one leg, that's 2 legs, and you're ticking them off looking forward. What you now do is you stand there and go, well, that's one opportunity gone.
Yes. You wouldn't back against him. I wouldn't put my mortgage on it, but I wouldn't have backed against him.
Lee, you require 40. Game shot in the second
That's
leg.
halfway.
Lee Cox.
That is 2 lives gone for Wesley Harms.
Mistake. Cox for the 164. It would be his highest shot of the week.
Game shot on the third leg.
And he goes and pokes it. Absolute drama here at the Motor Super Series in the last game of Group A, Week 1.
For the result that Moreno Blom probably thought was a long shot, probably didn't expect it to happen.
Game.
And it has happened.
And a match. Lee Cox.
Lee Cox has beaten Wesley Harms by 4 legs to 0. Moreno Blom will win Group A. Moreno Blom started off with 4 defeats back to back to back at the beginning of the week. He found a good run of results, winning the next 4 in a row before what looked to be a 5th defeat that would keep him out of the run. The last 6 matches in a row. Moreno Blom wins Group A.
Hi guys, hello. Right, so what drama we've just seen there, and I can tell you now that Moreno Blom has just found out. He didn't know that that was enough to send him through until that double went in, and he is in tears up here on the balcony finding that out. This is the table. We're going to bring Scott Mitchell in for his assessment because we've got 3 players tied at the top on 20 points. Moreno Blom won the group by 1 leg on legs difference. He lost his first 4 games of the group before going on and winning it. Scott Mitchell has joined us up here on the balcony. Scott, words don't really describe that conclusion, does it?
Well, I've never seen the like. I mean, I even forgot to come up here. It was so exciting to sit down there and watch. You were waiting and waiting and waiting, and Lee Cox will rue that chance of the game before, but wow, Moreno, great stuff.
Yeah, he's watching this up on the balcony. He actually just came up here just to watch the final game and just to get a glimpse. He didn't actually know he was through. He had to ask about the situation. So this is like a bonus for him, especially after the way he started on Monday.
Absolutely, and it's probably the best way to know. And we watched 2 players that were playing that actually knew the situation, and I think that affected that last game.
33-1 he was at the start of the day to go through. The bookies have taken a bit of a pasting on that one.
How did we miss that for value? How did we miss that?
You need some Scotty Dogs tips. That's what you need. But let's talk about Wesley, because look, this is gonna be a hard one to take because him and Lee were in control of the group. Moreno wasn't top at any point up until the final game of the group. So how does he now come back tomorrow, try and recharge and go again in Group B?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think mentally that's really tough to do. Particularly he's not been playing lots and lots of darts at this level. So he's been a little while away from this. He's one of those very determined characters. So I know that he'll probably get on top of it. He's very mentally strong as a dart player. So now he's got to be mentally strong off the board to come back the dart player he is on the board.
Are we saying the same things about Lee Cox?
Well, I think we've just seen that Lee's over his disappointment with the way that he's just produced that form there against Wesley. So he's now ready to go. He's come off the back of a big win going into tomorrow, so he's happy anyway.
Well, let's see how the rest of the week pans out at the Super Series, because we know Moreno Blom's going to be the first player through on Saturday evening. We'll talk about Group B in just a second. Let's begin with Group C, because Danny Lauby and Mal Cumming dropping into what is already a tough group. Charlie Large made it to the final of the Lakeside Youth World Final last year. David Evans fresh off the Pro Tour, and we know how good Robert Rickwood is.
Absolutely. That's a real tough group, but then this is the Modus Super Series. You don't come here and not have a tough group, no matter who's in this group. Everybody's earned the right to be here, and they'll be playing the best they can when they get here.
Out of those who have dropped out, who do you think's got that best chance of getting out of Group C?
It's a tough one. Robert Rickwood's been in a bit of form lately. I played him last weekend at the Challenge Tour, and he played really well. I also played Dave Evans. So, yeah, they're both looking good. It's difficult because the guys that have already played know a little bit more about it, and it's how they react to starting from zero again. So you wouldn't not back Danny Lauby to go, do you know what, I can go straight through this card.
As for Group B, we're going to see Lee Cox and Wesley Hahn drop into it. We're going to see the additions of Rob Collins, Ryan Palmer and Keelan Kay. Now, the last time we saw Rob Collins here, narrowly missed out, but did show it in patches, some really good stuff, had 110 average in there.
Yeah, Rob Collins has always been a class act. You know, he's won Challenge Tour events and things like that. He'll come in here, you know, really wanting that other chance. Outsider, I mean, Keelan Kay, he plays okay here, but he's in fits and starts at times. If he can find that consistency at a high level, I've been practicing him lately. I know that he's practicing well, so he could be a turn-up for the books here.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Tomorrow and Friday we'll get that action underway. You're going to be leaving us now, Scott. We're going to miss you over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I've got to go back to the day job, darts. Yeah, so actually playing and doing stuff at the weekend. So, yeah, I'm sorry to be missing the conclusion of this group. I really am.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you the last couple of days. Thank you to you at home for your company throughout the course of the day. We're going to be back for a double session tomorrow and Friday here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, where Moreno has weaved his magic and he is the first man into the Modus Super Series Finals night.